YouTube? What is up? James, MTG Biggie here. And I know it's a lot all at once, but I really wanted to get these decks up and these videos up for the new modern format. Jace and Bloodbraid Elf, both unbanned in modern. I have a deck tech for a Jace the Mind Sculptor Blue Moon deck, and a general discussion about how the format's going to shake out. So feel free to check those out. I will leave links in the description down below or in a card above my head right here. And give those a look. Tell me what you think down in the comments below of those. And I wanted to get into the Bloodbraid Elf of it all. And I have a list for a Bloodbraid deck. It's obvious. It's Jund. And so here we go. A deck tech for Bloodbraid Elf in Modern, which I never thought I would end up doing. But here it is. Bloodbraid Jund. So we'll get into the mana base. Pretty standard for Jund. We're on some fetch lands, 4 Catacombs, 3 Bloodstained Mires, a Wooded Foothills. These fetches are going to fetch out our 2 Overgrown Tombs, our Stomping Ground, our Blood Crypt, or our 2 basic swamps or 1 basic forest. And then we have some fast lands with 2 Blooming Marsh, 4 Blackcleave Cliffs, and then we round it out with a couple Raging Ravines. Nothing too out of the ordinary here. Pretty basic, pretty Jundy, pretty consistent. And then we have our creature package, which in addition to 4 Bloodbraid Elves, a full 4 of as a full play set, we're going to be casting this to cascade into maybe some Tarmogoyfs. Maybe a Dark Confidant, 2 Scavenging Oozes, or a 1 of 2 Goblin Rabblемasters. I'm really excited about Rabblemaster with Bloodbraid Elf. Rabblemaster has seen an uptick in Jund lately. A lot of Jund players have been playing it as a win condition that demands an answer. And when you pay 4 mana for a 3/2 to cascade into a Rabblemaster and you get a 1/1 on the back of it, that it just goes really insanely wide really quick, and Rabblemaster absolutely demands an answer, but you're also attacking with another 3/2. So that's pretty sweet. I look really a lot forward to that. The most important spell I think we have with Bloodbraid is Kolaghan's Command. This card's bananas, and by itself, it's like 3 cards in one at least most of the time. When it comes off of a cascade from Bloodbraid Elf, think of it as 4 mana, 3/2 haste, that when it enters the battlefield, you destroy an artifact and make your opponent discard a card, or destroy an artifact and deal 2 to a creature, or make a player discard a card and return another Bloodbraid to your hand, which is an insane interaction that those 2 cards have. So that's going to be bananas. I could see it being a 3 of, maybe a 4 of. I want to start with 2. I think the card is bananas, and it's probably correct to go a little higher, but we're starting here, and we're going to work our way up. We're on 3 of Lightning Bolt, and then we have the discard package of 3 Inquisition, 1 Thoughtseize main deck, and then we have a triple set of Fatal Pushes here, a couple Terminates, a couple Abrupt Decays, and then a whole mess of Liliana of the Veil, 3 of, and 1 Liliana the Last Hope. Cascading into a Liliana is insane as well. 4 mana, get a Planeswalker and a 3/2, pretty good. So we're looking to do all of the silly things with Bloodbraid Elf in Jund. I think that I'm most excited, obviously, for Rabblemaster because I love this card. But it's just Value City. When you get to have a 3/2 body with haste, and you are able to cascade into and get a free spell that are like the most powerful spells in Modern and the most efficient spells in Modern, feels really good. One thing I forgot to mention, we have 1 of Dreadbore. This is a concession to the fact that Jace the Mind Sculptor is unbanned as well. Bloodbraid fights Jace pretty well because it has the right stats. It stacks up well. But I like to have one more really solid answer where we don't have to rely on Lightning Bolt, which can be inconsistent and miss a lot of the time. We could just absolutely destroy a Jace, no questions asked, especially if we cascade into it against an opposing Jace. We could, like, cascade into the Dreadbore and then attack our opponent instead of Jace, which is pretty good. Moving on to the sideboard, we have a pair of Nihil Spellbombs. We want to control our opponent's graveyard in some matches against spell-based Snapcaster decks, against Dredge, against a whole slew of decks, but we want to maintain a graveyard so we can play our Tarmogoyfs. So Nihil Spellbomb is the answer we get. We're on 2 of Thoughtseize, so we can board up to the full 6 Inquisition Thoughtseize package against control. We're on a pair of Ancient Grudge, always great to have against Affinity, against even Tron, stuff like that. We have 2 Kitchen Finks. This is for the burn matchup. We're going to board out our Dark Confidants a lot of the time against burn, so having a couple Kitchen Finks to answer that matchup is pretty good. Bloodbraid cascading into it, you get 2 3/2s and gain 2 life. That's pretty awesome. We're on 3 Fulminator Mage because of Tron. Even though Tron may downtick a little bit in value and in the amount of play it's seeing, it's still something that beats the pants off of Jund traditionally, so we want to have a way to beat it. We're on 1 of Pithing Needle. This is also for Jace. In addition to a lot of other things, it checks a lot of boxes. It turns off Ether Vials. It turns off opposing Planeswalkers. It turns off a whole mess of cards. You can even do the Getcha thing on the play and name a fetch land and turn off an opponent's fetch lands. It doesn't come up often, but when it does, it's super sweet. Then we have an Anger of the Gods and a Damnation. I wanted a wide variety of sweepers. This can handle like the Eldrazi matchup. This can handle the aggro matchups, Elves, Death and Taxes. Even against Dredge, we can exile their dudes, which is pretty good. And then we have Hero's Downfall. This was going to be Dreadbore number 2, but I think Hero's Downfall at instant speed is totally worth having. It also is still able to be cascaded into. So our whole deck is set up to be under 3 mana, except for Damnation, which is fine, because when we board in Damnation, we may board out some number of our creatures, obviously. So that is the deck. That is Modern Jund with Bloodbraid Elf. I look super forward to playing around with this deck. I think it's going to be absolutely insane. I think it's going to make Jund a tier 1 deck totally. I'm really excited about it. It looks like a blast. I have always wanted to play around more with Jund. I've played a little bit of the deck. I have a good portion of the deck put together thanks to my buddy Sean, who I borrowed a lot of cards off of. And it looks super fun. So that's it, guys. Let me know what you think. Also, like I said, check out the Jace Blood Moon, Blue Moon deck that I put up the deck tech to. Check out the discussion, and I'm going to be right back with another video. And this time, we're not going to be talking about how to play with the cards that just got unbanned. We're going to be talking about how to play against them. So look out for that. And also, a reminder again, give me a follow on Twitter. And let's talk about this whole new modern format that we just got gifted by Wizards of the Coast today. I'll talk to you guys again soon.